In the last weeks of 2019, when the world was ready to welcome the year of 2020, many local hospitals in Wuhan, China reported an unusual number of cases, who had severe pneumonia without a clear cause, not respond to any form of existing vaccines or medicines. Soon after, a seafood market in the region was linked to all these cases. This was a wholesale seafood market which had about hundreds of stalls, selling fish, chickens, bats, snakes, rabbits, and much other wildlife, which showed a very high human-to-human transmission rate. As days go, the cases progressed increases. An initial hypothesis was formulated that this was a new type of coronavirus that acquire in the animals being sold in the seafood market of Wuhan. This resulted in a fear that it could be similar to the SARS epidemic in year 2002, which infected 8,000 people that killed 774 individuals, but they were all wrong because this was going to be something much worse. By early January 2020, about 59 suspected cases, and picked up from all local hospitals in Wuhan for isolation in the Jinyintan Hospital of Wuhan, and these 59 suspected cases, 41 were confirmed in 2019 coronavirus infection. The isolation was already too late, and before they were isolated, these cases had infected hundreds of others that eventually infected thousands of individuals, and the start of the 2019 coronavirus epidemic. It started as a localized epidemic in the central of China and quickly spread to the other nearest provinces in just a few weeks. This spread was escalated by the Chinese New Year and thousands of tourists out of the home. The situations became very dense, while cases in other countries were also reported, which were transmitted by international travelers. The first cases were reported from Vietnam, and soon after several new cases were reported from Germany, Thailand, Japan, Australia, United States, Russia, and a dozen in new countries, leading to a global panic situation. The epidemic listed its full stats on January 9, 2020, but the death toll had just begun. As I've made this video, the COVID-19, or known as coronavirus, has led to more than 95,000 confirmed cases, of which 8,000 are serious. In more than 65 countries have been affected, with major outbreaks in central China, South Korea, Italy, and Iran. More than 3,300 people have died due to this epidemic. You can imagine the effect of the situation by looking at these facts. The WHO, or World Health Organization, declared the epidemic as a global health emergency as of January 30, 2020. Delta Airlines, United Airlines, and American Airlines completely suspended their flights to China, and several other airline companies that have a case of coronavirus. While the US government temporarily banned the entry into the United States by any foreign national who has traveled to China in the past 14 days. China has placed its numerous city governments lockdown, then dying millions of people. The Chinese stock market is constantly crashing, and this has led to a global economic slowdown already. See the word coronavirus, which is derived from the Latin word corona, meaning crown or halo, which refers to the characteristic appearance of this virus. The virus consists of core genetic material surrounded with an envelope of protein spikes. This gives it an appearance of a crown, and crown in Latin means corona, and the name coronavirus. A coronavirus is a group of viruses that cause disease in mammals and birds. These are the new viruses with the genome of 2622 clovis. The new coronavirus has been detected every few years, the first ones being discovered in the 1960s, which caused mild respiratory infection in chickens. Since then, the number of several cases has been discovered, mostly affecting bats, barges, and other small or dead animals. These viruses often get mutated in the animals they circulate, and due to the close contact of humans with these animals, these viruses can jump from the animal to human to start a new disease. Many coronaviruses have already infected humans, including the SARS coronavirus, which led to the SARS epidemic in 2003. The MERS coronavirus and the human coronavirus NL63. The latest edition of these names is the novel coronavirus, or known as the Wuhan virus. The new virus detected all the time. It's known that coronavirus species circulate in a variety of animals. Sometimes these viruses can make a jump from animals to humans. This is known as a spillover and can grow to several reasons, like a mutation in the virus itself or increased due close contact between humans and animals, as we discussed. For example, most coronavirus is known to be transmitted from camels to humans, and SARS coronavirus from civet cats. The animal reservoir of 2019 is not clear yet. Many of the early cases had been linked to the South China Sea seafood supermarket in Wuhan, but the first documented case, which has been traced back to 1st December, had no connection to the market, surprisingly. How does it spread? Through droplet infection. How or it's when the person gets infected. Anyone who coughs, sneezes and releases viral particles that remain suspended in the air, while picked up by another person, it is also transmitted to things that our infected person has been closely in contact with, like used towels, clothes, switches, keys, door handles, or by a handshake. Those who have the highest risk of getting infected are people who are in close contact with animals, like in the animal market workers, and those who are taking care of infected, like family members, doctors or nurses. The 2019 ncov acute respiratory disease, that this disease caused by the most symptoms or indicates, related to the respiratory system. Now, from what we know, it can be several symptoms ranging from mild to severe. The mild cases can present with fever, cough, shortness of breath, and the severe ones can lead to pneumonia, kidney failure and death. The most widely used test to detect the coronavirus infection is the PCR, or the polymerase chain reaction. This test detects the minute quantities of the genetic material of the virus and amplifies it. As of now, there's no vaccine to prevent the 2019 ncov, or known as coronavirus. The best way to prevent is to avoid being exposed to this virus. However, CDC always recommends everyday preventive actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory viruses, which include steps like washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, covering your mouth while coughing or sneezing, using an alcohol-based sanitizer that contains 60% alcohol or more, and avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands. Stay home when you are sick and avoid close contact with people who are sick. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. The developer of vaccine for coronavirus is already underway. Scientists believe that they can make it in a shorter time. Some hospitals are testing medical drugs to see if they have any impact. The ratio cases appears under library. It is far too simplistic to divide the number of deaths by the number of cases to calculate the death rate to get a figure of around 2% at this stage of the outbreak, but it depends upon a range of factors like your age, sex, general health and health system. Thousands of patients are still being treated, and we do not know if any of those cases will die. The death rate could be higher. It is because of the size and density of the population and close contact with animals harboring viruses. The short answer to this question is absolute yes. Many of those who contact coronavirus experience only mild symptoms. These include fever, coughing and respiratory problems. Most people are expected to make a full recovery, but can pose a particular risk for elderly people and those with pre-existing problems like diabetes or cancer. I hope that this can help you with the 2019 COVID, or known as a coronavirus. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe button and share for some ideas. Thank you, and see you in the next video.